fans, and welcome to another athletic season here on the campus of Southwest Mississippi Community College. And that means it's sports time, and sports up first on campus always means soccer. We've got Coach Zach Mills, some of his assistants, and a whole lot of soccer to talk about as we get ready to roll here in 2022 with soccer, athletics, and Southwest Bear Athletics on Bear TV.
Good afternoon. This is Coach Bill Wallace with you today. I'm the athletic director at Southwest. Thanks for viewing Bear TV. We've got a lot of exciting things going on campus right now, and look forward to the fall semester. Thanks for being a part of our program. Hopefully we'll see you at the game soon. Go Bears.
Well, welcome back. It's the first show of the 2022 athletic season. School just started a couple of days ago, and already we're into the full swing of things. And up first in athletics is, of course, soccer. Head coach is Zach Mills joining us on the program. Coach, first, welcome to the program and welcome back to school.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Excited about the season.
Well, on a more personal note, you, during the off-season, made a change in your life, didn't you?
Sure did. I got married, so that's a big change, but it's been a blessing for sure.
Well, he gets married. He's moving to a brand new facility. So a lot of things happening in Coach Zach Mills' life, aren't they?
What a life. What a life. No complaints here.
Let's talk about that new facility. We'll go straight to that. You've been playing at, of course, the Southwest Soccer Facility, which is still there. But during the spring, it was announced turf would be placed on John I. Hurst Stadium, Monroe McKelvin Field. Yes, football does benefit from that, but soccer benefits from that as well. And it's kind of a twofold for you. Number one, I think the biggest thing about soccer is the fact that you can move some of your games, if not all your games, to more of an evening schedule. Talk about the importance of that.
That is massive for so many reasons. Fan support. I mean, we want everyone to be out there. And 2 and 4 p.m., no one's really blaming fans that couldn't show up, whether it was work related or just the fact that it was 150 degrees out. But we're very, very excited to have evening games. 5 and 7 is going to be a typical session for those meetings. So we're looking forward to those matchups.
Let's talk a little bit about the grass to turf. Is there any big difference between the two as far as soccer playing goes?
There is, and it depends. I'm very excited about the turf that we had installed. It's classy, it's nice, it's fast. The difference, I would say, is the speed of play, the way the ball moves and rolls, more predictable, which is nice, but at the same time, it's moving. So that will change our game a bit. It's so nice to have the grass field when we play teams that are, that have a grass field. We'll be training on that field to get used to it, to get familiar with it. But of course, home games and any turf games away, we're all on turf.
So there is some difference. How do you train differently? You talked about being on grass or being on turf. Is there?
We try to train the same. It's just faster. The ball moves a little quicker, zings around, and again, like no bounce. I mean, with the weather here, we had some divots in the field, maybe some bad bounces that we had to adjust for, and now it's much more predictable. So if the guys are doing what they should, they're out there with, I guess, more. Being able to judge where the ball is going, where it's going to fall, where it's going to bounce, where it's going to land, which is helpful.
Let's talk about that men's program. Since you've made your second return to Southwest Mississippi Community College, one of the things we've talked about in men's and women's soccer with you is just bringing the program back to more of a consistent level. As far as the men's side goes, how do you feel the progress is coming?
Well, I mean, record-wise, it's coming because we did progress. We had a tough first season when I came back. The second season was better, and this will be the third. So we're very, very excited about it, just for the potential. And of course, potential means nothing without execution. But the guys learned a lot. The returners, I think, have grown so much. They've matured. They can tell the difference already. And the freshmen coming in are more prepared. So that's something that we're very, very much looking forward to. Had a preseason game yesterday, and we felt good about it. Of course, we have plenty of kinks we need to work out, but as far as where we are today compared to where we were last year, very excited about progression.
Everybody knows, especially in JUCO, the way this league turns over so quickly with the 2 years. I know sometimes it's 3, depending on how long the kid's been around. But those 2-year players really have to be impactful players, don't they?
They do. It is kind of different. It's a different team every year. I think we're lucky to have so much experience coming back. We have 21 returners, if I'm counting correctly, which is a crazy amount of sophomores. But it's nice to have those. We have a couple third-year guys, trying to finish out their COVID year. But that experience and that leadership, I think, will come in clutch this season.
How do you get the freshmen ready for JUCO soccer, which is vastly different from high school soccer?
It is. It's so much faster, and honestly, we try to prepare them. I don't think there will ever be a time when a freshman comes in after playing high school and club and just is ready day one. No matter how prepared they are, it's always just a little bit of a shock. And I think these moments, preseason and these games leading up to the regular season, is the best experience. Getting around the team. Thankfully, we have older guys that are showing them the ropes. And that's basically, it's more of a hope and the I guess jumping right in.
Yeah, I was going to say, put your seatbelt on.
Yeah.
And hit the gas pedal, right?
Let's do it.
Well, with the new players, you mix in the old players, you got the new facility. There's obviously a lot of great things going on with the soccer program, and of course, talking right now about the men's side of things. Who are some of the new players you were able to bring in that you're hoping will make a big impact this season?
Oh, we have a number of them. I will say I'm happy about a transfer we got from PRCC. Actually, he was planning on going 4-year, and he needs some classes to graduate, so he came over here because he liked a lot of our guys, and he's been a it's good to see him fitting in well, pushing the team. So Jamie Chamberlain, I think, will be a big voice on the field for us. And then, as far as a freshman, we have a little bit more quiet guy, but honestly, his work ethic and what he's been doing on the field recently has really impressed the coaching staff and the team as well. They all see it. Caleb Trisdale, very excited to have him on board. So those two, as far as new faces, look out for them.
Of course, in your program, you're mixing a lot of international with a lot of local kids, a lot of statewide kids. You kind of have to mesh all that together. Everybody knows this JUCO league is very good, especially in the South. There's not a team you're going to play that you can just go ahead and put a W beside in this league. So recruiting is so very important. And now with your facilities and, of course, with you starting to kind of build the program back, how have you noticed recruiting going?
Yeah, it will be massive in the future. Luckily, Dalton Cooper is, I don't know if he sleeps. I don't think he does. He recruits very hard. And now, of course, Nicole, Daigle on the women's side, we're all helping each other. And then Ivan Bastida, the new coach, new part of the staff, we're all going to be able to team up, hit those players that we maybe couldn't see before, couldn't have on campus before. The new facilities are amazing. They're going to see the changes and the progression and the improvements that we're making here, and just hopefully the culture that we've set and will continue to build. And that's how we do have to fight against all the other schools that are looking at very similar players, but we have our own likes and dislikes, and we're looking forward to bringing those guys in. Again, Dalton has a board of so many names, and we're looking forward to seeing more of them, but also having them up. We have a couple dates that we'll talk more about that we're very excited about.
Well, and I think I've had this conversation with you before. Locally speaking, soccer hasn't really been huge until probably the last 10 years, but now you can actually find some local players that can play at the JUCO level, and I know that's got to be a refreshing part of it with rec soccer and with high school soccer in this area. Like I said, in the last 10 years, it's come a long, long way, hasn't it?
It's amazing, and honestly, the local, Joyce over at the Macomb Rec Department, I'm so happy to be working with her. We have our teams, reffing, coaching, just being involved a little bit more, and we want them, especially now that we have different game times, to be more involved with us too, and just to build together. instead of separately. I think it's so much faster and easier if we can build together. So that local, the local stuff. I know Nicole and Dalton have set up, local camps. I mean, teams come in, individuals come in, and these guys are just improving so much. And we do have some local talent on both teams that we're very excited about, because like you mentioned, and I hate to say it, but before it was just tougher to come by.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, it started to take off, and now, like you said, if you pull over on Mondays or Thursday nights at that regular, you can't find a parking spot over there with all the young kids playing soccer and enjoying playing soccer. And I think that's a key of it too, is to get them to buy in and love the game at an early age, and then it's only going to get better from there.
Yeah.
Well, you got a game coming up. Won't get to see the men if you missed them yesterday. Won't get to see the men for a week or so at that brand new facility at John I. Hurst Stadium. But they're coming in the very near future. And like you said, with game times now being a little bit later in the day, more folks can kind of come in and enjoy the games, and of course all the amenities that John I. Hurst Stadium provides.
Yeah, that's big too. I mean, concessions and the seating and the lights, it's a good feel.
Yeah, and the Bear TV people can sit in the air-conditioned press box too. I know Brian Embry was really, really happy about that he could sit in the air-conditioned press box for soccer this season. So, well, Coach, thanks for sharing some time with us on the men's program. We're going to talk to your assistant coach about the women's program. We hadn't forgotten about them, but first, and you kind of talked about this when you were talking about recruiting, you do have a brand new face on the staff. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're so excited to have Ivan Bastida come in and bring a different perspective, bring just more eyes, more ears, more knowledge to the coaching staff that I thought we had to work hard. The three of us, we've always worked together well, but a fourth similar mindset, just wants to succeed, wants to push. So especially with the focus, and that's. I guess we'll talk in a second about the women's program, but Nicole's role and how it's grown and how it's developed, and just that is going to be a huge proponent of why we will be successful. But definitely looking forward to having Ivan here. From Southern California, he kind of changed up his whole life. He said, "All right, let's do this," and his knowledge of the game and just his passion about it and his excitement is going to bring some energy to the school, but also to the community and to everyone who, if you're not a soccer fan yet, hopefully you will be soon.
And of course, we talk about investing in the program. Southwest Mississippi Community College, not only with facilities, Zach, but also giving you an opportunity to get a third assistant.
Yes.
It's a pretty big deal, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It's massive.
Well, we're looking forward to the men hitting the pitch in the very near future. Can we still call it the pitch, even though it's the football field?
I love the pitch.
Yeah, let's call it the pitch. Even though it's the football field, we'll call it the pitch.
We got those beautiful gray lines. We're ready for it.
Let's do that. We'll talk women's soccer next right here on Bear TV. Well, welcome back here on Bear TV. Our thanks to Coach Zach Mills for joining us. We talk soccer, and more specifically men's soccer with him. Assistant Coach Nicole Daigle in. She's going to talk women's soccer with us. How are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Well, he talked about your increased role. Of course, 3 guy coaches, 1 ladies coach on the staff coaching both the men's and women's team. So it only makes sense that we talk to the lady about the women's program, right?
Of course, yes.
Well, let's talk about that women's program. You came back with Zach when he got the job the second time here. You're a former soccer player, so you know what that program can be, what they want that program to be, what you want that program to be. It's been in a rebuilding phase. Where do you feel the program is as far as the women's side goes?
So I think we're at a really good point right now. I came here 2013 to 2015, and ever since I left, I feel like the program just hasn't been on the right path. So when Coach Zach came back to the program and he asked me to be a part of it, it was like a no-brainer. So very glad to be here. They say that it takes about 3 years to rebuild a program. We're going into year 3 right now. We feel very confident about all the players that we've brought on, and Coach Zach talked a little bit about the seniority and stuff that we have. On the women's side, we do have 3 players that are third years, and it's so incredible to have them return to our program because they want to help us push it into the direction that we're trying to get it to. So we have 11 returners on the girls' side we have a roster of 21 girls. The past 2 years, we've rostered the most girls we've had in the program. When I played, we had 14 girls, 1 keeper. That's really tough. The league is super competitive, and our subs and our players on the bench are just as important as our starters. They fill a very big role within the program, and so very excited about this season, and then also looking into the future, because the girls right now are kind of setting the tone and really living up to the expectations that we're holding, and just excited about the future.
And I know it was a rebuild side on the men's side too, but this women's program was one that when Coach Mills came in, of course with you and the other coaches, it was in need of a change, let's call it.
Mm-hmm.
And you spent the last 2 years and now into year 3 kind of changing the mindset of that women's soccer program, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it hasn't been very easy. And actually, Dr. Bishop said this the other day. Our sports programs, for some of them, it's not like you can just come here, walk onto the program, and expect to play. It's very competitive, and that's how it's been in the past. So I'm glad that our school and the whole athletic staff has seen the growth and the progress within not just our program, but all programs being more competitive. For us, the state opened up, and we compete. All 11 teams. There's no more North and South. We beat some North teams, and so I feel really confident about our upcoming season and just finding more success. And it kind of made that the playing field a little easier, because I believe more of our dominant teams are in the South, and it was very, very hard competition for us every single year, having to play those teams twice. But with a couple wins in the North, and just really just playing the best soccer we can against the teams in the South, I really think that we can make a run. Most wins ever for the program. They've only had 7. 7-7's been the best record. And one other thing that we've really been trying to bring to the program is positivity. And that's something that we really focus on with everything we do when it comes to our practices, our recruiting, even just like fundraising and all that kind of stuff. Just a very positive culture and a positive atmosphere goes a very long way, and even our players are jumping on board with that, and so it's really nice to see.
Yeah, one of the things we didn't talk to Zach about that you can kind of hit on is when you guys came back to kind of restart this program, it was kind of the same time that a lot of other community colleges, especially in the south part of the state, were really starting to focus a lot more energy and a lot more time and a lot more money, for that matter, on their soccer programs as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of all started at once in the JUCO League, especially in the South End, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. And, one of the things that we've been focusing a lot, Coach Zach talked about it, is our community involvement. So, just really trying to get out. We don't charge for our games, at least not for this season. We want every single person who wants to come watch soccer be able to enjoy that and not have to pay. And then also with our fundraising and stuff like that, just getting more involved so we can have more resources, anything that will give us an upper hand. That's what we want. And so the programs and the parent involvement too has been great, because we're actually starting to see just growth in all aspects of both programs, men and women's. And I think it starts with our coaching staff and the expectations that we hold our kids to.
Well, let's move back to the team itself just a little bit. You talked about those 3 coming back. You're expecting big things from them. Kind of tell us, as far as folks when they come to the games, who are some of the people that you're really looking to really make an impact this season?
So our 3 returners are Chloe False. She's from Louisiana. Alexa Manning. She's actually a local girl. She's from Park Lane. She transferred from Colin to us last year. And Haven Jarvis, she the other day she came up to me and she was like, "Coach, I think I want to play at the 4-year." And that is not something that I would have ever expected her to say. And it's so great because her whole perspective about soccer and her love for the game has changed. And I really think it's because of the culture that we've started creating within it. And then, some of our new faces, we signed another girl from England. Her name's Aoife Saunders. She's going to be in the midfield for us. She's very technical, high IQ. I think she'll be one of the leaders on our program. And then we signed Emily from West Jones, comes from a very competitive high school. She's, will float in the midfield and on the wing for us. And then a big part as well on our back line is Jennifer Neal. She's from Pearl. And, she's a quiet one, but, she leads by, how she performs. And so, and everybody too kind of has their own style, and everybody's so different on the team too. And it's great to see them all come together. Our team chemistry is so much better. It is so much better. Our girls actually have relationships and friendships within the program, and that's something that we struggled with in the past 2 years. And so, whole different mindset and mentality, and a lot of that I think is because of the new players that we brought on, but also those leaders in those third years that see the vision we're trying to create and support it.
Well, you can do Coach Zach's job too, because I forgot to ask him this. In football, in American football, everybody asks you who the quarterback is. Well, in soccer, everybody wants to know, hey, who's going to be under goal for you? So who's going to be the keeper for the women and men this season? Put you on the spot right quick here.
So for the men's, Cooper Odom, he is one of our third-year guys, and honestly, he's going to do the job for us back there. When he first came to the program, he was an outside back, and one day we were kind of like, hey, you play baseball, let's see how you do in the goal. After that first semester, our COVID year in January, he ended up being our starting keeper, after not having any keeper experience. He also was one of those, wanted to come to school, just kind of do what he had to do, and then transfer out, go be in a fraternity or whatever. And, he is also going to continue playing at the next level. So on the girls' side, it's a toss-up. Alexa Manning's one of our keepers, and then Bree McDonald as well. So really, we are excited about all of our preseason games, because that's going to give us a better idea of who we think can do the job. And they both have different qualities, strengths and weaknesses, and so it might depend on who we need for that game. If they're a better shot blocker, if they're better in the air, if we need good distribution, it's going to depend. But those two girls are going to be battling it out for the starting spot.
August 22nd, East Central. It's a women's game here on the campus of Southwest Mississippi Community College. First chance for the local crowd to see these Bears in action at John I. Hurst Stadium over on the turf, which is, like we said, great facility, the concessions, great place to watch a game. I know you're looking forward to that.
Yeah, so East Central, one of those teams, like Coach Zach said, the state, we're allowed to roster 25 people. We have our internationals, but everybody is competing within the state after the same players in order to fill our rosters. East Central is one of those schools that we are, especially on the women's side, I'm competing with. He wants the same girls that we're after. So, we lost last year to them 1-0. Thought we had a very, very good game. So I'm excited to see what we bring to the table this year. But our girls do know we're going to take this one game at a time, and see how this season turns out. Because, like I said, like what Coach Zach said as well, a lot of potential. We got to execute and we have to perform. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before I let you go, you talked about fundraising. I know you've got a fundraiser you want to talk about, a 5K coming up. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so our 5K is September 3rd. It's going to start, check-ins about 8:30. We plan to begin the race at 9. And, the main reason for this is we want to introduce our players to the community. We want an opportunity for people to come out, get some exercise, have some fun, meet some new faces. All of our players will be participating in it, whether they can walk or run. This race is open to anybody. We'll print our schedules out. They can take copies of it. And like I said, we are really looking for that community support. And I thought that this was a great way to be active, fundraise, and kind of hit all these key points that we're looking for. So, September 3rd, it's a Saturday. We hope to see you out there.
If folks want more information, they can go to the website. SouthwestBearAthletics.com has all the information on there. You think Coach Zach's going to walk it or run it? Since he's married now, you think he can still run it?
Oh, I know he could. If he wanted to, he could.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's a married man now, so
I
was just wondering what you thought.
He still gets out there and runs and stuff with the guys. I don't think he's ran in a while, but I know if he wanted to, he would. But yeah, like everybody will all be out there. Like I said, we have including our managers, 29 on the guys' side, 23 on the girls' side. We got a really big group. We're all going to be out there, looking to have some fun. Like I said, also the fundraising part, super important. We plan on using some of this money to focus more into like our players' nutrition and stuff like that. That is something that I feel very strongly about. I think it's very important in the development of our athletes, and just eating healthy and on a consistent, not diet, but just we have to take care of ourselves, and so that's what I plan on using our additional like money, fundraising, and spend it on those kind of resources.
Absolutely. I know a lot of times when you hear about a fundraiser for a program, people are curious, what are you going to do with the money?
Yeah.
So thanks for kind of telling us what the plans for the money is on this 5K. And to give you more information on that, southwestbearathletics.com is the place to go. Well, we've got one more segment. We got to meet the new guy from Southern California to Summit, Mississippi. This one ought to be interesting. That's coming up next on Bear TV. Welcome back here on Bear TV. Final segment of our soccer preview show. We thought we would spend our final segment talking to the new guy in town. First, introduce yourself to everybody.
All right, my name is Ivan Bastida. I do come from Southern California, and it's my first year here with Southwest Mississippi Community College, and definitely excited and happy to be here.
Let's talk about this. Let's ask the obvious question. How does a guy from Southern California make it to Summit, Mississippi?
Well, it was an interesting way how Coach Zach reached out to me, but getting to know Coach Zach and Coach Dalton and Miss Daigle, how they interact themselves with as individuals and with the rest of the group, I think was really convinced me to be able to come out here to Southwest. And then getting to know the community, of course, Dr. Bishop and Coach Jackson and everybody, Coach Wallace as well. And I think that was really convincing to be able to say, to leave everything behind in Southern California and come out here. And then, of course, the facilities that are being built and the projects that, are coming this way is exciting and definitely a massive reason why I wanted to leave everything behind and come out here to Summit.
So did you know anything about the Southwest soccer program before you got the phone call, or did you have to start doing some research and getting Google Maps out and things like that?
Definitely not. Never heard of Summit, Mississippi or Macomb. And after the phone call, did my research, started investigating Southwest Mississippi Community College and the community. And of course, it was a little bit afraid or fearful at first, but got to take that leap of faith. And I think everything's gone well.
Let's back up just a minute. Tell us about your soccer pedigree. Where do you come from on soccer? When did you start playing it?
I did start playing at a very young age, probably since I can remember, 3 years old. And I think that's my parents, but I have two older brothers, so of course I would always be at the field with, and I did play a little bit of junior college over there in Southern California, and it's an incredibly competitive conference over there too. So I think bringing the knowledge and skills that I had, I think it was a wonderful opportunity to be able to help and these athletes and help Coach Zach and the rest of the school as well.
Well, coming in as the new guy, what role are you kind of planning to fulfill in the coaching staff?
This year, I would really like to just get to know the ropes a little bit more. Get to the level where Miss Daigle and Coach Dalton are, of when it comes down to scouting and recruiting here in the local area. And then, of course, if Coach Zach gives me the opportunity to be able to help with my knowledge and tactical and the sport of the game, then I definitely want to be able to fulfill that as well, and just learn and hone my skills a little bit better.
Well, we've learned about your soccer. Kind of tell us some other things you like to do. What are some of the other things you like to do now that you've kind of settled in here in Summit, Mississippi?
Definitely trying to learn some more activities that I can do here in Summit, Mississippi. Over there in Southern California, I was big on hiking and getting out, but I know there's a couple local state parks, and New Orleans ain't too far, and so I definitely want to be able to get to explore and get to visit more places here in Summit, Mississippi. And whether it's fishing or being in the lakes or whatever it may be, I think I'm excited to be able to just learn more activities and grow as an individual and help whoever it may be.
I think if he's talking about hiking and fishing, I think he'll fit right in here in Southwest Mississippi. I don't think a Southern California boy is going to have any problem if he likes to do a little fishing and a little hiking. He's not going to have any problem here in Southwest Mississippi. Welcome to Summit. Welcome to the program. It was so great that this year a fourth soccer coach is being added to the staff here at Southwest Mississippi Community College. we're glad that you got that chance to come to town and be that fourth assistant as well. So welcome to Summit, and we look forward to seeing you on the sidelines and seeing the future success that this soccer program that we know is going to have.
Thank you for that. Definitely excited to be able to get to know the community a little bit better and for the future, everything that it holds.
See this guy on campus, be sure to tell him hello too. He's the brand new soccer coach here at Southwest Mississippi Community College. Well, Ivan, thanks so much for taking just a few moments of your time with us. We look forward again to the soccer season getting started, man.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and that'll do it for the soccer preview show right here on Bear TV. Don't forget, August 22nd, the women are in action against East Central, and of course, all the home games this season, as they are every season. You can watch them, of course, on Bear TV. You just go to southwestbearathletics.com. You can also download Southwest Mississippi Community College for your Roku and watch them on Roku TV. Several other ways to do that as well during the course of the soccer season and, of course, through the course of the athletic season as well. We'll talk football next. Be looking for that show in the very near future right here on Bear TV and Inside Bear Athletics.